Can all of you please switch on your videos? So I want to see all of you. Okay, Atula is there. Atula is there. Sakshi and Sukrut. Okay, good. Aditya is there. Atula, okay. Sakshi, Sukrut. How about Neil? I think Neil is not there. Neil has not yet logged in. Okay, Sakshi. Sakshi is not there. Sukrut and Sakshi, I think you guys have not switched on your videos. Yes or no? So is the graph sheet ready with all of you? Yes? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
You have your graph sheet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Can I just have a look so that you're really doing it on graph sheets? You can just display a graph sheet once. You have? Good. I can see Atul's graph sheet. Adi Shrikar. Okay, there is a book. Mrudula.
Ma'am, I don't have.
You don't have a graph sheet. I asked you to keep it ready for today's class. Yes, I can see Aditya's graph sheet. Sakshi and Sukrut are not there. You have not enabled your videos, is it? Why Sakshi and Sukrut? Okay, Mrudula, but how will you plot? There was a graph sheet to be. Okay, Sukrut, I'm able to see now. So is your graph sheet there? Sukrut, do you have your graph sheet ready with you so that we can get started with problems?
Ma'am, I have graph.
Graph
I have graph book.
Good, good. How about Sakshi? Yes? Don't you have? Okay, fine, that's fine. Then I'll just share the first problem. This is from your exercise 4.3. Okay, so just a couple of minutes, I will just share the screen and we will be going ahead and solving the problems. So is the screen visible to all of you? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So Mrudula, just try to arrange for a graph sheet if it's possible. You can just go and quickly grab one. Okay, so because it will be required for us. Okay, good. So we shall get started. So the very first problem, and I'm going to start. So before I start the problems, let me just recollect the theory concept which was taught to you yesterday regarding how to find out the solutions and how to plot the graphs. Okay, so isn't it? That was what I was discussing in the previous class. Is it not? Do you remember? Yes? Okay. So I was discussing basically on how to find out solutions to a given problem. Okay. So So here we have to understand and remember two things before we start plotting the solutions for the linear equations, okay, on graph sheet. So what are the two things we have to very importantly understand? First is to find out the roots, correct? Roots of the given linear equation. So roots of the given linear equation. So what do you understand by this? Finding out roots, or I can say finding out solutions, correct? Finding out solutions of a given linear equation. So how do I find out solutions? So as I discussed with you yesterday, for a given linear equation, we can find out multiple solutions, correct? We can find out multiple solutions. So we have to first fix the equation. So the given equation will be in the form what? Ax. What is the standard form? Standard form of a linear equation in two variables. So it will be in the form Ax.
Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0.
Yes, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. So you're correct, Aditya. So this will be the standard equation, okay, the standard equation of the given linear equation. So when they ask us to find out the solutions, we should, as I explained yesterday, so you should fix the value of one variable and go on assigning or go on calculating the value of another variable. So thereby we get set of points. Okay, very important for us to understand is the set of points are what we call as coordinates, correct? So the set of points, what do we call the set of points? We call it as coordinates. Okay, so usually the coordinate, it is the coordinates, they are represented as x comma y. So if you have studied the chapter on coordinate geometry, so I think you know this basics, x comma y, what do we call this? We call it as ordered pair, correct? So the pair x comma y, we call it as ordered pair. You should always first write the x part and then the y part. What is x specifically called as? X is specifically called by name. What is x specifically called? Can anyone answer?
Abscissa.
Very good. Abscissa, correct? S-I-C-S-S-E, abscissa. And what is y specifically called as? Y
Ordinate.
specifically called as ordinate. Yes. X and Y, they are specifically called as abscissa and ordinate. So basically, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to fix the value of X and find out the corresponding value of Y. And we are supposed to plot it on a graph sheet. Okay, so this is the first thing which you have to understand. The second thing, okay, which you have to understand is we have to just substitute back the values of x and y and we need to cross verify. So how to cross verify or how exactly we do this? Okay, so to cross verify, what happens when you find out the value of x and y and you substitute back in the equation? Okay, the equation is satisfied, or when you use the values of x and y in the given equation, what happens? Your RHS part will be equal to 0. So that is a verification that the given or the value which we have found out for x and y. So we can understand they are the exact solutions, or we can verify they are the roots of a given linear equation. So these are the two things you should understand. So now I will just proceed and teach you how to exactly solve a problem on the graph sheet. Okay, so let me just, for instance, take the very first problem from your exercise. So is the screen visible to all of you? Yes? Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this, I'm choosing the problems from your very first exercise, that is your exercise 4.3. Okay, 4.3 is the exercise. So now what is the very first question? Draw the graph of each of the following linear equations in two variables. So what is the very first question which they have asked?
X plus y is equal to 4.
Plus y is equal to 4. So we have to plot this. So how do we plot this? So what is the first step which I've asked you to tell, or which I've asked you to do? Which is the first step?
We have to write it in standard form.
Standard format. Okay. So the very first step, you can just go ahead and write it in the standard format. Okay, specifically when the given linear equation is there. Okay, just by observing. Okay, see, I'm just going to I'm writing the solution here for your clear understanding. So first I will write the linear equation is in the format ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, and just below this I am going to write the given equation is equal to 4. So you need not. So since in the very first exercise which we solved, we were asked to write the coefficients, correct? We were asked to write the coefficients of x and y. That is the reason we listed what is the value of a, what is the value of b, and what is the value of c. Is it not? Now in this equation, we need not do so. So just write the standard form of the equation, and below that write the given equation. So now the very next step, okay, so you have to name this as equation number 1. Okay, so you have to fix, as I say, you have to go on fixing the value, substituting the value of x, and start finding out the value of y from equation 1. Okay, so this is an important step. Carefully observe. It's an easy one. Okay, see, from equation 1 I can find out what is the value of y, correct? So x plus y is 4. So what is your y equal to? Y is equal to 4 minus x. Am I correct? Yes or no? So your first given equation is x
Yes,
plus
ma'am.
y is equal to 4. So since I have to find out the values of y after I substitute the value of x, what I do, I just simply shift x onto the other side. So I get y is equal to 4 minus x. So now this is the second equation. So now you have to go ahead and write a statement. Hope you guys are doing the problem along with me. Hope you are writing it along with me. So now what you should
Yes,
do,
ma'am.
by substituting, so you have to write this. This will be the same, the same steps will be copy paste for every problem. So you remember and understand one problem with correct format. Okay. So by substituting the value of x and solving equation 2. So what I do, I will go on substituting the value of x. So when x is equal to, I will start with 0. When your x is equal to 0, what is y equal to? 4 minus 0, and thereby what is y we get? Y we get it as 4. So as soon as you get both the values of x comma y, you can write the coordinates. So while writing the coordinates, you can, for your reference, write it as 0 comma 4. Am I right? When your x value was 0, you got y value as 4. Now similarly, you have to substitute, you have to go on writing the steps subsequently. So go ahead and substitute. When x is equal to 1, what is your y equal to? Y is equal to 4 minus 1. So y, I get it as 3. Correct? Then again I write when x is equal to 2. Okay, so what is your y? Y is 4
2.
minus 2. So y is equal to 2. Correct? So when your x is equal to 3, what is your y? Is 4 minus 3. So I get y value is 1. So as you write this, just adjacent to this, you go on writing the ordered pair. Ordered pair, as I mentioned, what should be your ordered pair? First you should write x value, then y value. So when your x is 1, your y is 3. Correct? Check out these values. These are my x values and these are my corresponding y values. Correct or not? So when your x is 0, y is 4. When your x is 1, y is 3. When your x is 2, y is 2. And when your x is 3, your y is 1. Correct? So I got these values. What is the next step? So you should always write the values which we have got in the coordinate form. You have to list it in a table. Okay, so you have to, because it's a, it will be asked for 4 to 5 marks. We expect you to write a table because, evaluation will be easy and we can easily refer the coordinates here. So you have to write x and y. You have to draw columns. Okay, and now go on putting the values of x and y. So when your x value is 0, what is your y value? 4. When your x value is 1, you got y is 3. When your x is 2, you got y is 2. And when your x is 3, what was your y value? Y value is 1. Correct? So is this all, or can I find out more? You can find out more because they have just asked you to draw the graph, and just by looking at the linear equation, you can say we can go ahead and do infinitely many solutions, correct? So we because even though you substitute 10, then also you get a value for y. Of course, it will be negative, correct? Now, if I substitute, okay, let me consider one more value. So what is the value when x is 4? What is your y value? So it will be 4 minus 4, correct? So you get y value is 0. So what is another coordinate? Another coordinate I get it is what? 4 comma 0. Correct or not? So when your x is 4, let me write it of the same color. Okay. So when your x is 4, what is your y? Y is 0. You may ask, ma'am, can I just go on substituting the values? Yes, you can go ahead and go on substituting the values for x, and you will surely get lot of values for y. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we have infinitely many solutions, but we have to restrict because they're just interested in for us plotting a graph. So we are just supposed to plot a graph. So now there is one catch, or one thing which we have to carefully understand. So you can go ahead and substitute instead of x 0, 1, 2, 3, instead of taking consecutive numbers, you can go ahead and substitute the value of x is equal to 0. Then you can do x is equal to 10, x is equal to 20. Okay. Or you can go ahead and do x, okay, some random values if you choose x as some 5, x 8, okay, x is equal to say some 12. So if you go on choosing random values, we do of course get the values. But for us to plot the graph, since we have to plot the graph on the A4 sheet, we have to consider an important factor which is called as scale. Okay. So what is the scale? So the scale is a, I can say it's a measurement through which I am plotting a graph. Correct. So now let me just show you a graph sheet. Okay, further I will just on the graph sheet I will try to plot these points. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, for us, they have even done negative values in the school.
you can go ahead and do as I said, you can even choose -1, -2, -3. You will be getting range of values. Okay, but how to choose the scale and how to fit in these values becomes very important. Okay, so Neil, I think you joined now. Did you join late? Neil, are you there? So I think you have missed yesterday's class as well. Okay. Okay, see, this is just now we have started. Okay, plotting is not yet done. Okay, carefully listen how I plot this on the graph sheet. Okay, and then later on that, if you have doubts, you can ask. Okay. So remember these values. Now I will be sharing a graph sheet. So I hope the graph sheet is visible to all of you. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you guys also have a graph sheet, correct? So now, what is the first thing which you have to plot on a graph? So you have to first write your axes. So how to draw the axes? So we have understood this, is it not? When we did coordinate geometry. So first draw your x-axis, okay, and then draw your y-axis. So you can just work out with me simultaneously, so it will be done all in one shot. Okay, so as soon as you draw the four, okay, I can say the four quadrants or two axes, what is the next step? You should go ahead and immediately mark the axes. So this will be your plus y axis, this will be your minus y axis, this will be my plus x axis, and this is my minus x axis. Okay, and then mark the center, which is the origin. Onto your right side of the origin, you have all the positive coordinates, and here you have all the negative coordinates. Correct. So now comes the question, how to choose the scale. Okay, so you might ask, okay, ma'am, you said you take positive values or negative values, or should I go ahead and choose multiples of 10? So many questions will be there. But what is the best answer? The convenient thing for you to choose is to make sure we are able to points, mark some 5 to 6 consecutive points, because your graph, looks neat, and it we can easily trace how the linear curve is drawn. Okay, it's always better you choose consecutive points. So that is why if you just saw the way I solved the problems, I have chosen the values of x starting from 0. Correct, I have substituted x value as 0. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct, this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Again, onto here it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct, here it will be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So these things will be there. Now, just by observing, you can see how have I chosen the scale. The scale is a very important thing which you have to make a note, in the right top corner of the graph sheet. So scale I have chosen such that on the x-axis I have chosen let 1 unit be equal to 1 centimeter. So I have marked like 1 unit. 1 unit mean to say what? 1 block. What is the measurement? It is equal to 1 centimeter. Correct or not? So you just need scale to draw lines. You actually don't need scale to mark the points, because in a graph sheet it is already done. Is it not? So I have chosen x-axis, let 1 unit is 1 centimeter, and on y-axis I have chosen let again 1 unit, let it be equal to 1 centimeter. This is the scale I have chosen. Now say for instance, this was the given equation. Is it not? What equation was given to us? See, we have got the equation x plus y is equal to 4. Say for instance, you are substituting value of x starting from 10. Okay, so you substituted value of x as 0, then you did it as 10, 20, 30, 40. Then what should be your scale? You should choose let 1 unit is equal to how much? 10 centimeters. Is it not? Because is it practically possible for us to mark, 1 centimeter, and here will be your 10, after again so many interval 20? We cannot plot it on a graph sheet. Understanding or not? So what we should choose? We should choose the scale, and you should say let 1 unit be equal to 10 centimeter. Then you have here 10, 20, 30, 40. Then it will be easy for us to plot. One suggestion is whenever you are choosing the values for x, okay, and writing the scale, listen carefully once. Very important thing, just listen once. See, whenever you are choosing the values for x, okay, so that you want to calculate the value of y, and when you are writing the scale, always make sure the numbers you are choosing are at equal intervals. See, here I have chosen the value of x. Say for instance, in this example, I have chosen 0, 10, 20, 30. So it is all difference with 10, correct? So if you choose like this, only then your graph you can easily plot, okay, and scale which you can choose will be also easy. Okay, did you understand what I'm trying to tell? Yes or no? Are you
Yes,
guys
ma'am.
understanding or
Yes,
not?
ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so that
Yes,
is good.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in this particular problem, when I solved, I have chosen the values of x starting from 0, correct? I have chosen it from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and subsequently I have got the y values. Is it not? So what are the coordinates? Let me just write the table. Okay, so can anyone tell me the coordinates? It's all gone.
Ma'am, first 0 and 4.
Okay, just a minute. 0 and 4. Okay, 0 comma 4.
Next, 1 and 3.
1 and
1 comma 3.
then
2 comma 2.
2 comma 2.
3 comma 1.
3 comma 1. Okay, let me quickly draw the axis. So clearly, as the coordinates, you can easily say they are all located in the first quadrant, isn't it? Because all your numbers are all positive, isn't it? Positive and positive, they range in the first quadrant. Hope you guys have written the scale here. It should be written here. I had previously written, okay? So yes, this will be the thing. Now, what is the first coordinate? It is 0 comma 4. So where will it be plotted, or where can you plot it? So it is 0. Your x is 0, but your y value is 4. So here is your first point. What is the second point? Your x is 1 and y is 3. So where it should be? It should be here. Correct? Correct or not? Always first go with x direction and then go with y direction. Then what is the third point? 2 comma 2. So first move from the origin, start from the origin, move up to 2 points and again 2 units. So here is your 2 comma 2. Whereas the third point, 3 comma 1. So start from 0, go to 3 and then plot up to 1. So here is your point. So is this the graph you guys also have got? Is it the same graph?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now say for
Yes, ma'am.
instance, yeah, you want to go ahead and plot these points. So how to plot these points? You can substitute negative values, as Sakshi was mentioning. You can go ahead and substitute negative values of x. Okay. Say for instance, I want to know, I have got for 0 being, for your x being 0, we have 4 value of y. Now, what if your x is minus 1? What is the value? Substitute x is minus 1 in the equation and tell me what is your y value. Okay. Anyone? Quickly, you should be able to tell. Your equation is simple. X plus y is equal to 4. X plus y is equal to 4. Okay, your y is 4 minus x. Now, if you substitute the value of x as, what is your value of x? I'm asking you to substitute it
Minus
as 1.
1.
So, it should be
Ma'am, y value will be 5.
minus of minus 1. Don't miss the signs. Very important.
Yes, ma'am, y value is 5.
5. Y value is 5, correct? So what are the coordinates now? Minus 1 comma 5. So it is this point. So if you just go ahead on the same direction, so you get minus 2, it will be 6. So it will be this point, and then this point. You can just verify for your value of x being 7, you will be getting minus 3. Okay, or for your value of x being minus 4, you will get plus 8. So once you get some set of points, what is the next important, very important thing? You are supposed to join the points. How to join the points? Just draw a straight line such that all the points are joined. Okay, so this will be your plot, isn't it? So this will be your plot. So have you got a similar plot, all of you? Have you got a similar plot or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now on similar lines, you should be going ahead and practicing the remaining problems. So we will go ahead and do a few, and further I will guide you regarding how to go ahead and do the remaining problems. Okay. So now I will just go ahead with the next problem. So I think you can go ahead and solve, remaining problems. So I will just summarize the various steps. Okay, students, listen carefully. So given an equation, what should be your first step? Write the standard format of the equation. Under that equation, write the given equation, compare the coefficients, and just find out the equivalent equation for another variable. Go ahead and start fixing the values of x, and then you will be getting the subsequent values of y. Okay, go ahead and fix your values of x so that you will be getting the subsequent values of y. Okay, so once you get the subsequent values of y, what you're supposed to do, go to the graph sheet and start plotting these values. Okay. So let me go ahead and do this problem. Okay, see, this might be quite different for you just by seeing this particular problem. The problem in the format of y is equal to 3x. So this problem, so just by seeing this particular problem, when you compare, okay, so you will have an understanding. So first let me write the standard format of the equation. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Correct? So this will be the standard format of the equation. So what is the given equation? Y is equal to 3x. Correct? So now we should go ahead and start finding out the values. So can anyone give me the values? Anyone has already found out the coordinates by any chance? Yes? So since it's a straight equation, so for these kind of equations, as I told you earlier, you were supposed to find out the equation for y.
Ma'am,
Ah,
ma'am, which question, ma'am? I'm confused.
you can give me the answers for this third question, Aditya. Tell me the coordinates.
Ma'am, 0 by 0. Ma'am, it's Atul. Aditya, I asked the question.
Yes, 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 tell me. Ah,
Ma'am, 0 by 0.
0, 0, okay.
1 by 3.
1, 3, okay.
1, 3, sorry.
Okay.
And then minus 1, minus 3.
Minus 3. Okay, so who gave me these answers?
Ma'am, Atul.
Atul. Okay, good. So
Ma'am?
yes.
2, 6.
Okay, so there are another set of coordinates then.
3, 9.
3, 9. Okay, then.
Ma'am, I've chosen only these values.
Why only 2 coordinates? See, whenever you plot
No,
a
ma'am,
graph,
I've done 4.
then you should tell, no?
No, ma'am, 0, 0, 1, 3, and these two,
And
ma'am.
these two. Okay, good. Okay. See, students, always keep in, at the back of your mind, when you're plotting the graph, you should have at least 3 to 4 coordinates. So keep it as a thumb rule. Okay, if you have more, that's well and good, but at least 3 to 4 you should have. So now can you just tell me, okay, so just by seeing the coordinates, now can you tell me for this particular problem, y is equal to 3x, so which are the 2 quadrants that are being occupied? Which are the 2 quadrants that are being occupied? Did you understand my question? So you should imagine where to draw these points, coordinates, okay, and tell me which are the two quadrants wherein this is occupied or this line extends. Y is equal to 3x. Yes? Did you understand my question or not?
Ma'am, first quadrant and third quadrant.
So who is it? Aditya, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Yes, that's exactly correct. So this is occupied in first and the third quadrant, isn't it? Students, if you just see, okay, see, these are all positive, positive. So when you are well aware of the quadrant division, correct or not? So you're well aware of the quadrant division.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in the very first quadrant, it will be both positive. In the second quadrant, it is negative, positive. Here it is negative, and again here it is positive, negative. So what happens? Just by observing the coordinates, you can see 0, 0. They are all positive quadrants. And then here you have negative quadrant. So both of them are negative coordinates. So that will be there in your third quadrant. So just by observing, you will get an idea regarding how your line will be stretched. Okay, so I guess you guys can solve the remaining problems, is it not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Yes. See, now observe the second question. So what is the second question? Given the equations of two lines, okay, and they are passing through the two coordinates 2, 14, how many more such lines are there and why? So please read the question once carefully and you should tell me, okay. So they have given the equations of two lines which are passing through the point, to the given point 2, 14. Okay, so you should tell how many more lines, okay, which is passing through the point 2, 14 is present, and if it is present, what is the equation? So that is the question. Carefully observe. See, now there is this one point, okay, so 2, 14. So just by observing, you can see the point is located in the very first quadrant, correct? Since both of them are positive values. You should tell how many lines are passing through this point and why. So how can you satisfy, say for instance, this is your x quadrant and this is your y, correct? So this is your x and this is your y. So can you give me an equation such that this condition is satisfied? I can, if I write my x value of 2 here, okay, your y value if you're writing it here. So 2, how many times? Okay, or since this is my x, let me write it like this. So see, I will first write x here, y here. So in mind, we have fixed, okay, or by given quadrants, we know the value of x is 2 and the value of y is 14. Correct? To satisfy this, when you have to say 2 times of how much is equal to y, you can write it directly as 7. Correct? 7 times x is y.
Ma'am,
Then,
can I tell the equation?
okay, so yes, I will give you a chance actually. So this is one of the equations, correct? So one of the equation is 7x minus y is equal to 0. How did I get this equation? I just did the simple logic, okay, wherein just by substituting the values of x and y, I can see to it that this is satisfied. 7x minus y is equal to 0. So I can go ahead and say this is satisfied. Correct? Now, yes, Sakshi, you want to give me one more equation?
No, ma'am, same.
Same equation. Okay, anyone who wants to give one more equation? Yes, one more equation. I'm waiting for your answers. X plus y is equal to 16. Good. Very good. Because if you substitute 2 plus 14 plus 2, you have one more equation. Yes. How about another equation? Can you give me another equation? So if I do like this, x minus y plus 12, is it equal to 0 for me? You do 2 minus 14 plus 12. 14 minus 14, is it 0? Like this, if I just go ahead and start giving combinations, I can give infinite number of solutions. So given a point in a quadrant, so given a point which is say 2 comma 14, this is 0 1 2, so this is your 2 and this is your 14. So given a point 2 comma 14 here, so you can go ahead and get infinitely many solutions. Correct? So this is your 2 comma 14. This is the point. So what I'm trying to tell you is that once you plot a point, okay, say for instance like this. See, this question is simply asking you, given a point, how many lines can you draw through the point? How many lines? You can draw infinitely many points, isn't it? So this is my point. So through this point, how many lines I can draw? Through this point, I can go ahead and draw infinitely many lines. I'm sorry, correct or not? See, I can draw a line like this, 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 I can go on like this. See, this is, you can go on with combinations wherein you will be getting 0 onto the RHS part. So as I mentioned earlier, there are linear equations in two variables, they have infinitely many solutions. So through a point you can draw infinitely many such lines. So what will be the answer to this? How many more such lines are there and why? So for that you should state there are infinitely many number of lines which can pass through the point, and therefore you can say there are infinitely many line equations. Okay, so that should be the answer. Given the equation of 2 lines, how many more such lines are there and why? So you give these examples and you say there are infinitely many lines. This should be your solution. Infinitely many lines, and corresponding to those lines there are infinitely many equations. Okay, so hope I'm clear to all of you. Yes, did you understand or no? Understood or not?
Understood, ma'am.
Understood, all of you. So shall I proceed? Is it clear to all of you? Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. On that note, yes. So my next question is, so this is the first equation. So they have given, if the point 3 comma 4 lies on the graph of the equation, find the value of a. So who can give me the answer for this? Who can give me the answer for this?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
If the point 3, 4 lies on the graph of the equation, okay, so you should tell me the value of A. So how to solve this question? I just want you to give me the procedure, then I will solve it for you. Quickly go ahead and do that. Give me the procedure. You can unmute yourself and talk to me.
Ma'am, so X here will be 3 and Y will be 4.
Yes.
So we put these values in the equation.
Okay.
3 into 4 will be A into 3 plus 7.
A into 3 plus 7. Correct. Yes. And then you just have to
And then
solve for A.
3 into
Is
okay.
it Atul? Correct? Yes. Very
Ma'am?
good. So I think you
Yes.
gave the answer, no? Who gave the answer? Please mention your name also, because I won't get to know who is giving me the answer. So was it Atul?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. See, very good point. See, it's very easy. You just have to write the given equation. They say this particular point is already there on the equation. So when the line is already there, obviously your x and y should be satisfied, or your x value is equal to 3 and y value is equal to 4. This is obvious. Is it? X is equal to 3 and y is equal to 4. This is obvious because the points are already lying on the line. So this is your equation. So as Atul said, just substitute the value of y is 4. Okay. And the value of A we don't know because that is in question. So that you have to keep it as it is. What is your x value? X value is 3 plus 7. Just solve this. So this will be how much? 12 is equal to 3a plus 7. So what is your 3a equal to? 5. What is your a equal to? 5 over 3. Correct or not? This is your solution. So quickly make a note of it. Quickly make a note of it. We shall move on to the next problem. ಇದೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So yes, okay, students, it's almost time. We shall continue the problems, these set of problems in the next class. Okay. So meanwhile, I want you to go ahead and try the remaining problems, specifically the problems wherein you're supposed to plot. Okay. So I want you to go ahead and try the plotting problems, and we will solve a few more problems in the next class and wind up this lesson. Okay. So any doubts so far? Any doubts? Any doubts so far? You want me to explain anything in detail?
No, ma'am.
No? So is it clear to all of you? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Fine then. Okay, so students, I think you have chemistry next. Okay, madam will be continuing. I will be closing the session now. Okay, so please stay. Madam will connect. Okay, so 10 minutes break and we will start again. Okay. Okay, see you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.